Hi guys, Dark Scorpion here, and this is a Slenderman love story. That's actually the name of the story, just Slenderman, a love story. So, I'm just going to call this story Slenderman. That's just the name of it. This is chapter 1. Let's get into it. I stared out the window, the classroom's window. I blocked out the mocking voices by the teacher and watched the birds fly around outside. In the corner of my eye, I saw a tall figure. My heart stopped in my chest. It was a man. It was a man. It was Min. The creature who had been watching me intensely through an eyeless face. I closed my eyes tightly. He was almost gone when I opened them. I opened them slowly, and sure enough, he was nowhere to be seen. I inhaled, finally able to breathe. I'm going crazy, I told myself. The bell rang, and I was snapped out. I snapped out of my world. Thank God that's over, I thought to myself, and picked up my history book and headed out the door. I took my books to my locker and threw them in without stopping, and I turned around, walked out the front entrance and out to the bus. I walked to the bus that was close to the building. It had been my bus ever since the first grade. I made my way to along with other kids of varying ages. When I found my seat, there was something in it. Not this shit again. I don't ever get tired. Don't I ever? Yeah, do they ever get tired of? Ever done terrorizing me? I thought. There was a doll with a note tied around its neck and a paper pinned to its chest that said, "Why don't you just hang yourself? Why don't you just hang yourself? No one would miss you. Gothic freak." I grabbed the doll and ripped its head off and threw it at the back of the buses. I clenched my fists and sat down. I should be used to this by now, I thought to myself. This had been going on for 4 years now, but for some reason it still upsets me. I shook my head. There was no point in even thinking about it. It's not like I can change anything. I didn't know why someone hated me so much. 'Cause they're jealous. I was always quiet and distant. I never had many friends, not even in middle school. But when I started freshman year, everything fell apart. My mom committed. I lost where I was. My mother committed suicide. I was I was the I was the only one home when it happens, and some people expected expected that it was me that had killed mother. Soon after that, my brother had died in a car accident on his way. Committed was in a car accident on his way to coming from detention. They saw me as a curse to my family. It was those around me that were hurt, so they all stayed away. In realistic, my mother killed herself because she had a suffer pill a something pure addiction, and she tried of copying and coping, and my brother was too busy cursing at everyone for driving slowly to cursing everyone drives so slowly, noticing that 18-wheelers are coming at him. It was never my fault, but they blamed me. And Sally, after a while, I started to blame myself. Yeah. So I got some in my hair. My stepdad, Dave, he never really liked me to begin with. But after my mother died, and he began to get more and more violent. He didn't care about me or my brother. He only gave a shit about mom. He would come home late drunk and angry, and I lost where I was, and beat me, and releasing all of his stress and anger on me. It unnoticeably wasn't immediately was unnoticeable. Not that anyone would care if they saw the bruises. The bus stopped. I looked up, and it was my stop. I grabbed my backpack and left the bus. Two assholes attempted to trip me as I walked, but they failed years of their stupid tricks, and I gave them good balance at least. The doors slid as I stepped. The door shut as I stepped down as I walked down our long driveway. We lived on the very edge of town and just in the woods. Thick pine trees cuddled each other. Cuddled each other along the driveway. No matter how light it was outside, the pine trees seemed to sneak out the light, stick out the sunshine away. Our little house stood in a small opening. There was a small gray fence around the house. It was white. We had a large house, but since everyone was gone, its size made it seem haunted. The rooms of my family were left as they were when they died. I was relieved to see that The truck wasn't in the driveway. Good, he isn't here, I said out loud. I opened the little gate and headed in the house. I walked around the bare beer bottles and dirty dishes that felt the living room and made my way to the stairs. He would probably be pissed that I didn't come home and clean, but I was tired. My room was the first one at the top. I threw my book bag down and flopped down on my bed. God, I'm tired. I yawned. I took my headphones and iPod out of my backpack and turned on music. I shuffled through a few songs until I found the one I liked. Breathy Carolina, Billie Jean. Billie Jean started playing as I closed my eyes. It wasn't even halfway over when I started off into a deep, long awaited sleep. Well, that was the end of chapter 1, Slenderman. I hope you guys liked it. Now I gotta go do dishes. So, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe.